New York Attorney General Letitia James is in trouble again, this time for allegedly allowing her fugitive relative to live in her Virginia home. James could face decades in prison if convicted of the most serious charges. The property in question is located in Norfolk, Virginia, valued at $235,000, and is occupied by her grandniece, Nakia Thompson. According to court documents, Thompson has been classified as an absconder after failing to complete her parole supervision in North Carolina. What makes it even more shocking is that Thompson has been arrested twice for assaulting police officers, meaning she already has a violent record against law enforcement, which is far from a minor offense. Prosecutors allege that when James purchased the house, she listed it as a second residence on her mortgage application and failed to disclose that it would be rented out or occupied by others. In reality, Thompson and her children have been living there rent-free. The case remains under active investigation.
In the latest case of you cannot make this up, Letitia James is housing a fugitive from justice, her grandniece, in her Virginia home. I can't believe it. Let's get into this story. Shout out to New York Post for this story. It's just outrageous. Completely outrageous. Let's get into it. Indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James has housed her fugitive relative in her Virginia home for 5 years, according to reports. The under fire prosecutor's grandniece, Nakia Thompson, has been living with her 3 children in James' 3-bedroom property in Norfolk since 2020. It has now been revealed that Thompson is officially listed as an absconder who is wanted by authorities in Forsyth County, North Carolina, for failing to finish her probation. Court documents have been seen by the Daily Mail reveal. This is terrible news for so many reasons. We'll be talking about her defense, or Letitia James' defense. I can't believe it. You can't believe it. How's this possible? I guess this is the niece in question, Nakia Thompson, and she's been listed as an absconder. I guess Letitia James may need to drop a call and let her know, hey, surrender yourself. You're messing up my case. I gave you a free home, and this is what you do? Ms. Thompson was sentenced to probation for misdemeanor convictions for assault and battery and trespassing, and has willingly avoided probation supervision. She's out there in places that she's not supposed to be and slapping and beating people up. An absconder is considered a fugitive. Thompson faces arrest if she is located in North. Her crimes were considered low level and thus non-extraditable. So I guess not worth going to find her and bringing her back, but still not a good situation. And Thompson told a grand jury in June that she has been living rent-free in that home. She doesn't even pay for basic upkeep. So this woman has 3 kids, doesn't do a damn thing, and Letitia James pays for everything. Now, that's how things are with certain family members, and you have to help them, sometimes to the detriment of your own situation. Again, we're going to talk about how this does not help Letitia James' defense at all. She was convicted in October 2011 with 1 count of assault and battery, and then 1 count of second-degree trespass, was sentenced to probation. And here is those things. But the problem is with this situation here, with Letitia James, and showing us some of these documents here, it ruins her defense. What I'm talking about, it undermines her second home defense. She is being accused of lying on her mortgage application.
So the claim here has got serious issues, but Donald Trump has been pressing and pressuring this Eastern District of Virginia office to indict and prosecute Letitia James over this home, which is located in Norfolk, Virginia. Letitia James made clear that this was not her residence, not her primary residence, and literally wrote in an email to her bank and her broker, this is not my primary residence.
Okay, Lisa, the fraud at issue, that she said it was her primary residence or checked a box on a piece of documentation, but then also was pretty explicit in other documentation and in an email, as Carol just mentioned, that it was not her primary residence.
But when you look at one property by itself, it makes it easier for them to say it's a one-off, it's a mistake, okay? But when you look at the pattern of behavior spanning to 1983, you say every single mortgage that she signed contained false information.
Saying that the Virginia property was a secondary residence when prosecutors claimed that it wasn't. So if her grandniece and kids really lived there rent-free since 2020, and Letitia James wasn't actually living there, that gives prosecutors ammo to say, well, she never intended to live there. She lied to get better long term.
People, listen up. Listen good. We're talking about a game here, a high stakes game, where the players are set up for a loss before they even make their first move. In the vast sea of 1.3 million attorneys in America, only 4.5% are black. That's like 50,000, more or less. It's 50,000 attorneys out of 1.3 million. Okay? Now tell me, how do we find ourselves in a situation where the leading attorneys against Trump are all people, all black? Huh? Of all people, they black. Markenzie LaPont, the Attorney General for South Florida, Alvin Bragg, the District Attorney for New York, Fannie Willis, the Georgia Attorney down there in Atlanta, Letitia James, the Attorney General at the forefront in New York. This isn't just a matter of chance. It's a strategic play in the justice system where the black prosecutors' roles are as highlighted as the charges they're bringing. But here's the kicker. It reeks of the setup. Somebody typed setup in the chat room. Look at what happened to Marilyn Mosby the other day. She got dragged through the mud, her career, her reputation put through the ringer. And now these black attorneys are walking into the same trap. Somebody typed trap in the chat room. Somebody typed trap house in the chat room. If Trump swings back into power, the backlash they'll face won't just be a slap on the wrist. It could destroy them professionally, personally, completely. They're being built up only to be potentially to be torn down in a vicious cycle of political and racial gamesmanship. So what's the lesson here? Don't be a pawn in someone else's game, especially when they don't care one bit about you. These attorneys, they're being used in the larger game of political chess. And if things go south, guess who's going to be the sacrifice first? That's right, them. This is the harsh reality for these black attorneys in these high-profile cases. They're walking a tightrope with no safety net. It's a stark reminder of the treacherous dynamics of race and politics in the American legal system. Wake up and see the play before it's too late. Now, let's get into it. We're talking about Marilyn Mosby and Eric Adams, two high-profile names that have been through the ringer. Mosby, as Baltimore's prosecutor, was front and center in the Freddie Gray case. Y'all remember him? Cops threw him in the back of a car. He didn't buckle him down. He ended up breaking his neck, right? She swore to prosecute him and such and so forth. Remember that? She caught heat for what many saw as her playing politics instead of seeking justice. Was she serving the community or was she serving a career? Now let's fast forward to 2020. And she's pulling $90,000 out of her retirement account, crying about COVID hardship while her paycheck's getting fatter. Then there's this Florida real estate hustle, bending rules to get those properties. And she's paying for it. Now shift to Eric Adams, NYPD officer, turned New York City mayor. The man's career is a web of controversy, tangled with alleged Turkish connections. This man's over in Turkey all the time. Who knew? I ain't know. Did these ties influence his politics and campaign funding? It looks like he was playing the game for personal gain. And not always looking out for the black community that was watching his back. Or even the people in New York, generally. Here's where it gets deeper. The media, they love to lift up black politicians, put them on the pedestal, only to knock them down hard when the tide turns. It's a double standard, a racial play where black leaders get scrutinized more harshly than their white counterpart. So, what's the takeaway from the journeys of Mosby and Adams? It's a brutal reminder, don't get used. Somebody talk in the chat room, don't get used.
In the first term I had it, but you guys were after me. I said I had to focus. I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter. It's a big difference. Big difference.